Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our ILCA Super Saturday and special ILCA Public Crypto Talk. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you can be doing with your time. My goodness, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, my goodness, that makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And I don't know if you were present for our 5-day challenge this past week. Yes, but we were on fire. We heard from two kings in our community, CJ Jackson and Mr. Leonard Long last night. I just want to give you both your flowers. Thank you so very much. Mr. CJ came with so much information and such an incredible story. And same with Mr. Leonard Long. My goodness. So again, if you guys were not able to see their testimonies, please go to our YouTube channel and take a look at it. And I just want to highlight, there was one thing that Mr. Leonard Long said that I felt deep in my heart. He said that one of the best things about being in ILCA and being a member is our crypto talk. How much he learned from it and how he learned how much our educator knew and how it was safe to listen to what he had to say, not only because he was practicing it, but there were so many people that were winning because of what he was teaching. And so I feel the same way. And what's so special about today is that you guys get a chance to get a little sneak peek at what that crypto talk is and how and why it made Leonard feel so comfortable being a part of our community. Now, those of you that are on Facebook, hello, everybody. How are you? Good morning. Thank you guys so very much for being here. But I'm going to tell you, you don't need to be on Facebook. You need to be right here on the Zoom call with us, cool kids. And the way you do that is you go to B as in boy, cryptochallenge.com. Again, you guys, that is cryptochallenge.com. And you could be right here on the Zoom call with the rest of us cool kids. And speaking of us cool kids, good morning, everyone. My goodness, it is so good to see each and every one of you. Hello, hello. We truly appreciate you guys giving your time and energy. You guys just was with us 5 days. Every night, okay? So the fact that you got up early this morning to be with us again, we truly appreciate you. So you guys know the routine. Type your name and where you're from in the chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is on the Zoom call with us. And if you have the opportunity, turn on your camera. One of the best parts about us being on a Zoom call is that we get a chance to see all your faces and those wonderful smiles. So let me go ahead and start saying hello to everybody. First up is Miss Catherine Clement. Hey, baby. How are you? We're twinning today. What's happening? I see Rita B. She's twinning with us today. That's right, ladies in red. Catherine, thank you so very much for being a part of our community and everything that you have going on. You guys keep an eye on Miss Samantha right here with that beautiful background. Hi, baby. How are you? She's a certified student. Keep an eye on these two ladies because they're going to be doing big things for us in 2026. We appreciate you both. I see Rita B is out there in the rain. That's what I call dedication. Getting her run on. That's right, girl. All right. Thank you so very much for being here, Rita. It's always good to see you. She is actually the first female certified student, so you definitely want to give it up to her. I see Judy E is here. She's representing Canada. Hello, Queen. How are you? Of course, Mr. CJ Jackson is in the house. Hello. He was one of our special guests this past week. He is here representing Arizona. I was waiting for you. Boom, 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 boom. It is always good to see you, Mr. CJ. And there are some special things CJ Jackson is going to be putting together for our community in 2026 as well. Let me tell you something about our certified students. They're not playing. They're getting certified and then they're going to work. I love it. CJ, thank you for everything that you're doing for our community and for always showing up and showing out for us. Yes, sir. I see Mr. Chris Hall is in the house. Hello, Chris. He's new to our community, but he's been doing big things ever since he got in the community. I see you, and we truly appreciate you. Daniel Shorter is here. Hello, King. How are you? Thank you so very much for being here. It is really, really good to see you. I see Stan and Dee Thompson is in the house. Stan, Hello, my friend. How are you? It's always good to see you, baby. Deborah Covington is here. Hi, Deborah. How are you, sweetheart? Of course, Clairvaux Albert is here representing Connecticut. Clairvaux is always here and ready to learn. It is always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. I see Miss Kimberly Brooks is here. Mwah. Hello, Queen. How are you? Janelle Appling is here. And I have to say this about my beautiful mom. She was sick for the last few days. And even though she was in the bed, curled up like a little baby, she still showed up for the 5-day challenge. And she showed up for us today, this morning. Mom, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And I see Carla Arrigo is in the house. Let me tell you something about Carla. She is actually an ILCA partner. So if you want to get your hands on our courses or join the membership, all you have to do is go to BeBest, the letter U, can.com, or you can find Carla on Alignable. All right, babies. The family is in the house. Let's go ahead and get this party started again. Thank each and every one of you for being here for our ILCA Super Saturday and special public crypto talk. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. And for over 8 years, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. But thank goodness he didn't just stop there. He decided to go out and share his information with people like you and me for free, doing Bitcoin boot camps nationwide, again, at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, Miss Casa, and welcome and good morning, everybody. I got to give it back to Miss Casa for once again all week being our gracious hostess and welcoming everybody for our 5-day challenge and our Saturday morning crypto talk or slash presentation. She is always ready and prepared and taking time away from her family to be here with all of you. And I want to publicly state and share something that my mother had just told me about her the other day because for those who don't know, Marnita's my cousin. And my mom had never had an opportunity to see Marnita on this side of things. And so yesterday, she was like, I am so impressed with Marnita and she knows all this information and what she's doing. And I'm so proud of her. And she said her grandmother would have been so proud of where she is and what she's doing and what she's preparing for her children and her legacy in the future. And a lot of times in families, it only takes one member of the family, but I've been blessed that we have in our family now is two, myself and Marnita, trying to build a legacy for our children and grandchildren and beyond. So I just wanted to say that publicly that my mom recognizes you, Marnita, for everything that you're doing. And we've got a big family. I've got a lot of cousins. A lot of you guys have been with me for a while. You've seen my other cousins before, but Marnita's the first to take it seriously for herself and making it happen. So shout out to Miss Casa. So everybody else, welcome and thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule on this Saturday morning. I promise you we'll be short. I'll give you enough information to make an informed decision. If this is a community that you would like to join, I also have to give another shout out because there's a special name that is on here today. I didn't know he was going to be here, Mr. Shorter. For those of you who do not know, Mr. Shorter, it was words can't describe how instrumental he was in my development. If we go back to December 1998, when I met him for the very first time, my Morehouse brother, Robert Brown, drove me and like five other people in a two-door car in the snow down to a meeting by the airport by Atlanta Airport, hotel by Atlanta Airport, and I saw my very first network marketing presentation from a company called ACN. And Mr. Shorter was Mr. Brown's sponsor in that company for the very first time. And we've been friends ever since. He has a lovely family, highly successful. All of his children, he's raised them up to be children of God and going on to become young adults. And his youngest is, I just saw just turning 18. I can't believe that. I remember seeing him as a baby. But this brother here, I have so much respect for, and I thank him for the impact that he's had on my life. He's also a published author as well. So it's great to see you here this morning, Mr. Shorter, and please give your family and Rhonda and everybody my love and appreciation. And Robert just called me the other day. We're celebrating our 50th birthday next year. We're going on a cruise. I don't know if you're going to be there, Mr. Shorter, but we're going on a cruise next summer, next June. So with that, for everybody else, thank you guys for being here. We just finished our 5-day challenge. This was the last 5-day challenge of 2025. And we're going to 2026 where ILCA will be celebrating its 4-year anniversary. So I want to thank all of you that have been here since the beginning, that's been a part of our community, that's made it happen, and welcoming all of you new members. I'll tell you just, I was supposed to be in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago at the Demond Crump's Pinnacle event, and I was going to be speaking on stage. And one of the things that I was going to be sharing is that, you cannot be afraid to adapt. You always have to, like I use that Dory from Finding Nemo. You always have to keep swimming because life is going to hit you and things are going to change. And when we follow the river of money, it always changes course. And you've got to be willing to reinvent yourself and change your focus and change and grow. And in my 20s, I was all focused on what is this thing about how to become an entrepreneur, how to build a company, how to sell a product, how to recruit the largest teams and organizations. And I failed for 10 years before I started to have much success. But that was my focus in my 20s. I'm just trying to make some extra money so I can pay my bills. In my 30s, my focus was more on building my brand, branding myself, becoming a leader. I was able to walk off my job in 2012 at the age of 36, and I haven't been back since, and that's a huge blessing in itself. But that was my focus in my 30s. In my 40s, my focus was more on how many people now, since I've had the success, how many people can I now help to also have success? And my 40s is when I really got into the crypto space and started to teach and educate and empower others. And we started and created ILCA, and I retired from the network marketing industry to focus more on this side. And as I go into my 50s next year, my focus on my 50s is more about legacy. It's more about passive income. When one thing that it will teach you, if you're an entrepreneur, as you get older, there is not going to be 401k or Social Security things for you after you reach what may be considered retirement age. You never actually really retire because our work is our lifestyle, is what we do. I don't realize I'm working because it's part of my life. I love what I do. However, we have to think about the future. There's going to become a time where you're not going to be doing presentations. You're not going to be doing conventions. You're not going to be recruiting and training people, but you still want to have an income coming through. So my 50s is all about passive income through our investments. Real estate is top of my mind, as those of you in the River of Circle know. We already have two opportunities on Monday. I'm coming back out of retirement from the networking space, and I will publicly announce the opportunity on Monday night. You guys in the inner circle already know. Some of you are already positioned. We're real excited about that, and it's about to explode big time. I had a couple of calls yesterday with some top leaders, and they're so excited, especially on a global scale, and the fact that it's only $10 to get your feet wet. So we're real excited about where the future of the River of Money is going, which is the tokenization of real world assets. And what we're focused on is the tokenization of real estate, fractional ownership. So you'll hear more about this on Monday night on our recap call, where I officially will unveil what that is about. Chris just asked me for the link today, so he's getting himself positioned, but the public doesn't know yet. If you came on earlier, I was playing music. There's a hint in there. Judy was like, "Hey, I thought you're not saying anything for the public yet." I said, "There's a reason why I'm doing it in the music." Those, I'm giving us subliminals here. So let's talk about today. After the 5-day challenge, and those of you who are guests this week, I hope you really learned something new. We did a new thing on Monday night. We talked about the river of money and reality of our financial situation, especially in America today. And I believe that 2026, there's only going to be two types of people for 2026. It's going to end up being one of your best financial years of your business career, or it's going to be one of the most difficult financial years. That's going to be a very challenging year financially in 2026. And you have to make a decision on getting positioned in an industry where it's untouchable. It doesn't matter what the government's doing or the president's doing or what the economy's doing or inflation. And the new word politically is affordability today, cost of living. One thing one of my old mentors used to tell me, he says, I never feel inflation because I always make more money than inflation that can catch up, so I never feel it. But if you're stuck in a static income where you're working a 9 to 5 job and you're only going to be able to earn so much and your raise is only going to be so much, you really can't stay ahead of it. So 2026, ILCA is positioning our members to be well ahead of that. In fact, as of now, we have at least, I already know three, maybe four, one, two, three, four of our members that's positioned to already do six figures next year. And our goal is to be able to help at least 100 people to be doing a full-time income anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000 a month passively without having to recruit and without having to sell a product and without having to go out there and telling the world what it is that you're actually doing. That's the ultimate goal. And we are proud to be positioned to make that happen. Now, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink it. You still have to take action, and that action leads with education. So, what the ILCA community is all about is taking an individual, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned vet, and showing you what the river of money of blockchain technology and how this is going to be impactful, where it's impacting every single industry on the planet. When we talk about real world assets, somebody type in the chat box, how much money are we talking about? Because I learned in 2017 that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. And we're talking about $867 trillion is on the move. You only need a crumb. That's why BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, the New York Stock Exchange, the governments, they are all getting themselves positioned. Now, when we talk about tokenized real estate, how much money are we talking about there? Type that in the chat box. Let's see if our students, you guys are learning. $16 trillion. Do you realize now that the average person cannot afford a home until they're 40? The average American? That the president is suggesting a 50-year mortgage? 50 years? So by the time you pay that off, if you're still alive, it's more than double the cost of the house to begin with. It's only enriching the banks. So we want to put you in a position to take advantage of the greatest wealth transfer in the history, plus the baby boomers leaving their inheritance to their children and their grandchildren. A lot of money is on the move now. ILCA is more than just crypto educational courses. Next year was not a relaunch, but the real name of the company is Ivy League Coaching Academy. We're going to be doing very much personal development, self-improvement, getting your mindset right on why you need to do what you want to do. Go move from hope and wish for more to how to take action and be positioned in the right industry to get more. It's not your fault, so to speak, as far as where you are today, where the system is designed that no matter how hard you work, more than 70% of all jobs in America do not pay a livable wage. You just weren't taught the right way. You have to re-educate yourself here, and then you've got to put in the work. You have complete control over the work. If you're not willing to work, then yes, that is your fault. But if you're playing out the same game plan you were taught, you just don't know any better. So it's now teaching you something new. And that's what ILCA is all about. We have almost 200 courses now. When we launched ILCA, we only had three courses: Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, How to Trade Bitcoin and Crypto. We now have 13, with the last course being securities. I'm creating a new course right now called Stablecoin. Why? President Donald Trump signed a bill in February that states that all federal contracts, governments, agencies, salaries will all be paid out in digital currency, and that digital currency will be a stable coin. We just don't know which one they're going to choose yet. Stablecoin has been every year I say there is a new flavor of the year in crypto. This year has been stablecoin, and I actually got it wrong. Last year, I thought it was going to be CBDC. Because the whole world is on that. But America, it's toxic in politics. The Republicans made it an evil word, so it's been rechanged now to it's all about stable coins. And so we got a new lesson coming out about stable coins, but we're also going to have a whole new division coming out on the coaching academy side, the personal development. Before I was in crypto, I was known as the mindset business coach. And companies used to pay me to fly out and speak for a weekend and on personal development and mindset growth and training, what I originally started learning under brother Daniel Shorter. One of the first things he said was be coachable. I was sharing this with Marnita. My very first PBR, if you don't know what that stands for, it stands for Private Business Reception. Back before the internet, back before Zoom calls, back before big conference calls, we built our business by home meetings. And my very first one, they told me exactly what to do. Mr. Shorter was like, all you need is water and some chips, chairs, maybe a little bit of music at the beginning, and that's it. Nah, I'm a Morehouse man. I thought I knew better. I said, you don't realize how popular I am on campus. I was junior class vice president. I was vice president of the Young Democrats in the entire state of Georgia. I was a senior. I had what I did. I had girls from Spelman and Clark running around the city putting up flyers. He said, no flyers. He said, well, just three-way calls. Just all you need to do is make your list, call me up, and we will do three-way calls. Me and Victor Huff will do that for you. Nah, my people don't know you. I don't need to put them on the phone with you. Just because I say show up, they're going to show up. I decided to have a party afterwards. I had her to DJ and said, once we do finish with the business meeting, we're going to have a party afterwards at my house. And I said, by doing that, that guarantees everybody's going to show up. I had full catering set up. It was going to be a big thing. And I'm like, of course everybody's going to show up. We're all college students ready to enter the business world. And when I told him I was doing, he said, no, it ain't going to work. The day of the meeting, only five people showed up. Myself, Robert Brown. I think Victor Huff was doing the presentation. My roommate, the girl I was with at the time. That was it. I was devastated. After the meeting, people started showing up. They showed up for the party. They didn't want to show up for the business meeting. And I had a decision to make at that point. I never really failed at anything before up to that point. I'm like, man, if I can't get all of my own warm market here in Atlanta, if I can't get them to a business meeting, and I'm about to go back home to California, how am I going to do it there? Maybe I just need to quit, go back to think about the 9 to 5 job thing. One, I'm not a quitter, and my ego didn't allow me to quit. And I made the decision to keep moving forward, like Dory, keep swimming. Now, I wish I could say it was a media success. It took 10 years of me pushing forward before I had my first breakthrough. So if you're in that situation, don't be discouraged. I always look, if other people are able to make it happen, that means you can too. You just have to figure out what it is that they're doing and duplicate it in this space. ILCA is going to teach you how to duplicate that in this space. And that's what the Coaching Academy is going to be all about. Once you decide to become a member of our community, and it's more than just, like I said, the educational materials. We have an entire membership portal where, let me share screen. And our membership is going to change in January. So just keep that in mind, portion of the screen. We're going to have our gold, diamond, and partnerships in January from $99, $149, and $199 a month. We have our own mobile app. We have our own social media section. We are very big on security, and the public social media is full of scammers and hackers and things like that. So we have a private area for ourselves. If you want to see all of our courses, we record everything that we do. So if you're not able to make it to our live crypto talks in the morning, we have all of those recordings, all of our diamond class recordings. Here's our lessons. Let's say, for example, Bitcoin 101. Here we have 15 lessons on Bitcoin 101, all the way through security. That was the last one we created. Crypto advanced trading, Internet of Things, decentralized finance, NFTs, metaverse, tokenization, AI, Web 3.0, security, CBDCs, decentralization. So we've got an entire library of information for you guys to access as well. We have a big event coming up that's soon. This is going to be in California. I had a couple of meetings yesterday with some organizations here in California that I'm partnering with that's going to put this on. But we will be releasing our registration page soon for this. Oh yeah, Marnita, you changed that one. Yeah, March 20th to the 22nd. Time to be announced. We're going to be having our big event. This is not a crypto event, not like when we did the Chicago Impact last summer. This is going to be a financial event. We're calling it Financial Help is on the Way, especially in 2026. We're going to be talking about being a business owner yourself, creating your own LLC, getting your business, having a business bank account that's separate from your personal, how to get your business funded. And then once you have your business funded, whether through lines of credit, whether through business credit cards, how to utilize that and make it work for you with programs that can make your money earn money for you, just like the banks do. We're going to be talking about family trusts. I'm going to have different speakers there. My father will be speaking there representing SEEM, Cooperative Economic Empowerment Movement here in the Inland Empire. I have another organization from Long Beach that's going to be up. This is going to be red carpet style. We're going to have some celebrities that are going to be there as well. So mark this down on your calendar on March 20. Oh, we got to change this one down here, Marnita. March 20th through the main day is March 20th. That's Saturday. I'll be having small events the day before. On Friday night, we're going to have a dinner. And really, one thing I love to highlight is minority-owned businesses. So we will be having catering as well. And I'm going to be using Black-owned restaurants for that. We're going to have a dinner Friday night, private meetings on Sunday morning. So this is our first big event in my own state. I've never done my own event here in California. I've been all over the world, but never done one in California. So this is going to be our first one that's coming up next year. Let's see. And that's all I wanted to share for this one. Last Saturday, I really shared the vision of what ILCA is all about. Get back with the person who has invited you. They will let you know where to go to get more information to decide to join one of our memberships, gold, diamond, and platinum for now. This diamond is now moving to platinum, so we're eliminating this position, and the gold is moving to where the diamond was, but it will be $99 a month for gold and $149 a month for platinum. And then if you want to become a partner, like Carla and Leonard are, Maggie is, that's $199 a month. Now, Miss Casa, I know you wanted to share something about this, so go right ahead.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, I'm going to make this very short and sweet. The reason why I'm super excited about the restructuring of our memberships is because of the value that we'll be bringing to you guys. Now, I've had some people say, well, gosh, Marnita, I like the gold membership at $49.95. Why do we have to upgrade to $99? Well, I'm so glad you asked. What we are putting together right now for you guys is not only group sessions. We are putting together more informational sessions. You guys will learn about things from personal development all the way to traditional finance. You're going to have women's sessions. We're putting together a coalition for women that are in this industry that is male dominated, where women can come together. We can talk about motherhood. We can talk about how to separate business from family, but it's just some place for women to be able to come together and talk about why we love technology, why we're here in blockchain, and how we're going to dominate this space more sooner than later. But we didn't leave the men out. We also have a group that we'll be putting together for the men as well, where men can talk men things. there's a lot of things that men hold on their shoulders and a lot of stuff that they don't put outwards. But when they are sitting with other men, it might help them learning about blockchain, learning about crypto, let's say turning yourself from a 9 to 5 mentality to an entrepreneur mentality can be very scary, especially for some men, because a lot of men hold the responsibility of the whole family on their shoulders. So to go from one thing to another can be very scary for them. So that's why we're going to have group sessions for men, and we have so much more that is coming to bring value. So what I would highly suggest for everyone, do not wait till the last minute, December 25th and December 26th. And hey, Marnita, I'm ready to upgrade. No, baby, get yourself positioned now. I have set it up so you guys are able, those of you that are in our diamond class, you are able to upgrade from diamond to platinum, which is the click of the button. We have it automated so that if there's any prorating or anything that needs to go on, that'll be done automatically for you. And for you gold members, if you are ready, you can absolutely upgrade to the platinum membership right now. I would say maybe around the second week of December, you guys start looking for a link for those of you that are in gold to be able to go up to the new gold at $99. Okay. So other than that, you guys, you keep your eye on ILCA for 2026. We got some wonderful, wonderful things planned for you all. So back to you, Mr. Ivy.
Thank you, Miss Casa. And for those of you that become a platinum member, there's nothing different than you need to do. You're going to already have access to all the new content that we're coming out, from the new stablecoin course to all of the Ivy League Coaching Academy videos that we'll be launching next year as well. So if you want to be a platinum member to get everything that ILCA has to offer, and this information is priceless. As Leonard shared yesterday about the importance of crypto talk that I do every single day. There's a difference between me and YouTube experts. I'm not in it for the clicks and the likes, and that's how they make their money. I am actually learning, and I'm taking you along the journey with me. And we're going to do a short example of that literally right now. But if you have not done so, if you just register for our 5-day challenge, which the next one will be January, the third week of January, the first one of 2026, you're going to get a free ebook called Bitcoin for Beginners. You're going to also get 10 free courses that I've created that are elementary style for free. AI said the one thing about ILCA is we didn't offer enough free stuff. So we have a lot of free things for you guys, plus the 5-day challenge before you decide to spend any money with the services that we're offering. So get back to the person who invited you. They're going to give you their link to share. Also have to remember too that I am expanding. There's another one. I am expanding our commissions from just one tier to 2 tiers next year. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I'm expanding our commissions from one tier to 2 tiers next year as well, because we have people that say, Brandon, I have organizations that want to be able to get crypto educated. So I know one person that has a lot of people. Can I still get paid on them? You will be able to now. And then our partnership program, where if you want to keep your brand, if you don't want to, there's a lot of leaders out there that say, Brandon, I love you. I love what ILCA is all about. I know my community needs this education. However, I don't necessarily want to promote you, because if I bring my community to you, now they become your community and they're not mine. And I understand that. So you can keep your brand. We will create for you your own website that has your brand, your colors. You can white label my crypto education and you can sell it, and we split it 50-50. So now I'm giving you a product that you can sell to your and monetize your community and keep the branding under you and whatever organization that you have without having to bring them over to us. So we've covered all of our bases. In fact, I was only doing that with companies. One company that I will be announcing on Monday just signed a contract with me last week. I am now their crypto educator. Our very first training will be on December 3rd, Wednesday. I'll be announcing the name of that company on Monday. I have another conversation next week with another company as well they actually want me to be their crypto professor. So, Marnita's the only one that knows about that. And then there's another major company too that we have the proposal out for that everybody has heard of, but I have never said anything that also wants to white label my crypto education. So we're going to be going into 2026, off and firing. I tell you guys that my year end is not December 31st. My year end is September 31st. October 1st is the beginning of a new year for me. So we now spend the last 3 months, the fourth quarter of the year, preparing so that when January comes, we're sprinting into the new year and not just getting started on the starting block. By the way, I also will be doing my The Secret call at the end of December. I only do that once a year. So I'll be preparing and doing that. And that's going to be special because I'm going to tailor make it about tokenization of real world assets going into 2026, The Secret and River of Money. So that's coming up at the end of December. So what's the sneak peek that we're going to go over? For those of you that's not a part of ILCA, we do something called Crypto Talk, 4 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. in the morning. That's private. And this is where I get all of my crypto knowledge and information. I am not a crypto expert. Let me repeat that. I am not a crypto expert. I am crypto versed. Why do I not call myself an expert? Because this information is rapidly changing on a daily basis. So what I was an expert on yesterday changes tomorrow. So the crypto talks allow me to stay up to date and ahead of the curve, to always knowing what's going on. And you guys have seen time and time again how we learn new information almost every day. There's new stuff going on. So we're going to give you a sneak peek on how we do that. We first start with we got to pay attention to what's going on in the world. You got to know it doesn't matter what your political feelings are, whether you're on the left or the right. If you don't know what's going on, you have no idea how that's going to impact the markets and impact your portfolio. The news source I choose is ground.news. Why? Because they bring the headlines of all news in the world and then they show you which ones is covering it, the left, the right, the center. And then you come up with your own, because people are on the left and some people are on the right. The biggest news right now is Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is set to resign from the Congress after fallout with Trump. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been watching this breakup, but this has been like a fast moving train over the last 2 months. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is making a calculated move, what she's doing here with breaking with Trump. She is someone I would call a true believer in the MAGA movement of America First. You have those that don't actually believe it. It's just politically expedient of them to do that, like Fox News. But for her, she's a true believer. And when she sees that the administration is doing things away from that, she's like, hey, well, hold on, let me call it out. Now, why is she resigning? I'm going to give you my suggestion here. One, her 5 years is January 3rd for pension, which means when congressmen reach that point, they will get paid their salary for the rest of their life. So she's up January 3rd. Also, by leaving at this time, she's trying to distance herself from Trump and whatever fallout from this Epstein stuff and the economy and everything that's going on. She said it yesterday. She believes that the Republicans are going to lose the midterms next year. I'm still skeptical on if there even is going to be a midterm. I still believe Trump knows that he needs to stay in office by any means necessary, just like he went into 2024. And so I'm skeptical about what's going to happen next year when it comes to the midterms. But she's looking also that of a run for probably Senate or governor, and she can't do that if she is a congresswoman. She'd have to resign anyway. So she's playing a political move here, the wait game. So either senator, governor 2026 or a presidential run 2028, something like that. I think she's looking at doing. But that's the biggest news right now, and it's being covered mostly on the center. Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation, she went bad. Webb telescope detects evidence of supermassive stars. Oh, I like that. I love this type of information. I love space stuff. See what other top news here. FAA warns all pilots of risks of flying over Venezuela. Oh, that's another thing we have to watch. We have a huge military buildup in the Caribbean. One of our big aircraft carriers is over there as well. Don Lemon had reported a bunch of B-52 bombers have been relocated so that they're in striking zone of Venezuela. So we have to watch this very closely. The new mayor of New York met with Trump in the White House, and the Republicans are not too happy with that play out because Donald Trump was calling him basically Osama bin Laden, from jihadists responsible for 9/11 for the last couple of months. And then in the White House, Trump flipped the script on everybody and he likes them. So that was some news yesterday. Supreme Court blocks, this is big news. The local courts deemed that what Texas was doing was illegal when they redrew their maps. California reacted to that by trying to redraw its maps, but they did it differently. California put it up to vote. Texas did not. So the lower courts said that's illegal. It went to the Supreme Court, and unsurprisingly, Supreme Court blocks the lower court's order because the Supreme Court is tilted onto the conservative side. So the congressional map, the new one, stands for now. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The most polarizing news. See, the right is covering, no, the center's covering this the most. COP30 climate talks in Brazil reach tentative deal. The left is covering Israel launches new strikes in Gaza after reported attacks against IDF troops. And this is why the right is only covering that 8% because Trump declared he should get the Nobel Peace Prize because he brought peace to Gaza and ceasefire, and no peace deal was ever signed. So the right's not covering this, but the left is. All right, then let's look at how is any of this news affecting the traditional markets? Here's what we've got. The markets closed on Friday up. The Dow's up 493 points, S&P 564, Nasdaq 195. See Europe, mixed, more on the downside. Asia, all red for Asia. All red for Asia. All right. What about the crypto markets? Who out there is panicking because of crypto Bitcoin is dropping? We're not panicking. This actually, we predicted this. Remember who, I don't know if it was Raoul Powell or Saylor, someone said that they felt the bottom was at 93,000. And I said, nope, it's still going to keep going down. And type in the chat box, what is my hope that it at least gets to? Type in the chat box, what number? Bitcoin is now sitting at $84,000 a coin. That's right, 75K. I hope it does. See, we make more money when the market goes down than when it goes up. And the lower this gets, it means the more amount of people that are able to finally get themselves a position if they don't have one, because you're looking at the last time you'll see Bitcoin under $100,000 after the next bull run. This is cheap. Your grandkids are going to say, you remember a time, Granddaddy, when Bitcoin was under $100,000 a coin? Because one day this is going to be $1 million coin. All right, but look at this. The last hour, everything is more on the green. Last 24 hours. Oh, isn't this interesting? Who's behind World Liberty Financial? Type it in the chat box. Who's behind that one? Up 20% in the last 24 hours. 3.8% in the last week. Why did this jump up? We didn't do crypto talk yesterday, so I don't know if this was in the news. I know what was in the news. Eric Trump, but that's not World Liberty Financial. That's a different company. Eric Trump's company is going all in on tokenized real estate. We did that on Thursday. Remember that? They're going all in on that. I wonder if that impacts World Liberty Financial, if they're tied some kind of way. Bitcoin Cash? Why did this pop up 11.3%? Monero, Quant, Mantle, BitGet, Pi, Aave. Oh, this is Saturday, so I got to look at week to week because only on Saturday I do crypto talks publicly. Okay, over the past week, best performer Pi Network. Bitcoin Cash, Leo Token, Whitebit, World Liberty Financial. It made up that loss. Aster, all right. Worst tokens. Canton, we caught this one when it first came out. Near protocol pump. Oh, I know my Kraken positions are going to be hurting. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just let those sit. And I got to probably wait another month or so. Sui, Providence Blockchain, Filecoin, Zcash, Litecoin, Cardano, Internet Computer. Yeah, this is heavily in the red the last week, the crypto side. And I want this to keep dropping. Keep dropping. Next is we look at what is the MoveQuest token doing? There was a big scammer last week that stole $100,000 worth of crypto from one of the MoveQuest community members, and then they dumped and sold all the MQT, which dropped the token value. It has now rebounded back to $9.29. So this is a good trend. 22,700 in buys, 9,900 in sales. Let's see how if this trend can continue. I still tell you guys on this token, it's being moved by the traders. So they have the power to bring this up and bring it down. So pay attention to those patterns. So if you see a lot of big buys here, $1,100 buy, this is a trader. They bought $8,000 worth and sold $15,000 worth. So as quickly as they bought $1,100 worth, they're going to sell this at some point too, which will drop the price. So this is why it's important to learn how to read the charts so you can time when things are happening because these traders are kind of predictable. I refuse to trade on this token because then I'm taking advantage of the community. So I will not do that. But I read this so I see what the other traders are doing. All right. Next, we see what's some headlines in the crypto space. First up, we've got billionaire Ray Dalio issues dire bubble warning as wealth gaps and fiscal strain deepen. Remember Monday night? We talked about what is the wealth inequality in America? And that video was like 15 years old. It's worse right now, and it's going to get even more worse. Dire warning. A looming financial shock is taking shape. This is why I'm preparing for 2026. The way we got ourselves positioned, it doesn't matter what the economy does, you will still have an income coming in. A financial shock is taking shape as overstretched valuations, tightening liquidity, and widening wealth gaps converge into a high-risk setup that threatens to unleash a rapid and destabilizing market reversal. So if you're looking at the stock market, and I said it the other day, the mistake that Trump is making is the same thing that they jumped on Biden for. When Biden was like, the economy's doing great. And it was. The US economy was the envy of the world after COVID. No other country rebounded the way America did, but the American people felt they weren't feeling it. They felt that you go to the gas station, you go to the grocery store, and cost of living was expensive and inflation was up. So it didn't matter to them that the economy was doing great. They weren't feeling it, and the Republicans seized on that during the last election. This time around, the U.S. stock market is doing good, but this is not an indicator of the American public. And like Marjorie Taylor Greene said, it's getting worse. So Trump's like, I don't understand. What are you guys talking about? Everything's down. Stock is up. Tariffs are working. That's going to be his downfall in the midterms next year if he keeps claiming that and not addressing reality. And the other Republicans that keep going down that road on don't believe what you feel. Don't believe when you go to the grocery store and buy something. Trust what we say. There's a small percentage of the population that will, but the majority, those in the center that you need to win, they're not falling for it. So something big is coming. I don't have the time to read all of these articles this morning. I'm just going to give some headlines on this. When bubbles burst and there are market and economic declines, these things lead to big political changes, big deficits, and big debt monetization. So even though the stock market is looking good right now, the people aren't feeling it. He's saying the stock market's about to bust. And when that happens, oh, all hell's going to break loose. That's why, and I'm predicting in 2026. That's what we're preparing for. All right, next we've got, ooh, look at this. And this is what I also love about Crypto Talk. It validates the moves we're making. Plume CEO tips. RWA. What does RWA stand for? Type that in the chat box. To grow 3 to 5 times in 2026 as it grows past crypto natives. So, what does that mean? That means right now, when people hear real world assets, RWA in digital, people are thinking crypto. But no, we're talking about every industry. What did Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, say in that video a few years ago? And I'm going to be in some presentations bringing those videos back. He said, I can't wait for the day all assets are tokenized. Real world assets, even stock. I can't wait. Hmm. Oh, speaking of, look at this. Plume says that Securitize, a tokenization platform backed by who? BlackRock and Morgan Stanley, has inked a deal to deploy institutional grade assets on Plume's Nest staking protocol. They are all getting positioned, and so are we. Now, and I have to reiterate what I said last night. We can be positioned in the right industry that does not guarantee that the things that we do are going to succeed. But at least we're getting ourselves positioned. We're heading in the right direction. Currently, we are tracking to over 10x the RWA holders number since the start of the year. This is not a trend. This is not a fad. This is the future. Even Eric Trump said that. I think I quoted, maybe since I didn't do the article, let me pull something up here. Let's go to the quote I did the other day. Right here. I said this, for the last few days, I have asked if you are paying attention. Where is the river of money flowing next? One of those directions is the tokenization of real estate. Real estate will always have value, but the future is in fractional ownership. Don't believe me? Just look at what the Trumps are doing next. Trump Organization to set a new benchmark for tokenized real estate investments. Eric Trump. Trump Organization to monetize Maldives resort development for early investors. Tokenize. This development will not only redefine luxury in the region, but also set a new benchmark for innovation in the real estate investment through tokenization. My grandpa always said, own real estate. Even now, we are finding property that my grandpa had that we didn't know because my grandmother passed away. And so the land that they owned, you got to pay the property taxes on them. My dad's getting letters about, I didn't even know we had that. That's never going to change. Real estate's never going to change. But with this whole tokenization movement, it's going to give everybody an opportunity to become some form of an owner. Tokenizing the development of Trump International Hotel Maldives marks a global first that blends luxury, innovation, and technology in a way that will transform how the world invests in hospitality. And this is an example of what they're building out there. This is the future. Look at this. Global market overview. I'm going to have to save this. It's for use later. I already wrote, this is the crazy thing about this. We have a lesson on tokenization that I wrote 2 years ago. We're kind of ahead of the trend on that. Let me show you. This is what you guys, being a member, you want to gain access to. Let's go to it. right here. Tokenization. What did I say about this? Hold on, let me listen to myself. In the same fashion how NFTs is going to change the world, tokenization will take a step further. The CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, even stated that one day, all physical and financial assets will be tokenized. Tokenization is the process of converting assets into digital tokens on a blockchain. These tokens represent ownership or a share in an asset, such as real estate, art, or even traditional financial instruments. Each token is a piece of a whole, and they can easily be transferred, traded, or even divided. This process makes assets more accessible, increases liquidity, and enhances security through the transparency and immutability of blockchain technology. Now, in this course, you're going to learn how tokenization will impact real estate, the art market, gaming, finance, and even cross-border trade. Enjoy. Wow. I did that 2 years ago. Are we not ahead of the trend? And then look at the lesson I got right here. Tokenization in what? Real estate. But that's not the only. Let's see. Security token versus utility, tokenization and fractional ownership. Tokenization in the art market, supply chain management. What are the regulatory challenges, which is still today? Tokenization of intellectual property, gaming, finance, fundraising, NFTs and tokenization, decentralized finance, cross-border trade, identity management. So we were 2 years ahead of the trend on this, and here we're seeing all the big boys jumping on board. RWA market will grow exponentially. We've already seen a pickup in private credit, as well as other alternative assets such as mineral rights, oil, GPUs, energy, and more. All right, let me move on. Another headline here. Veteran trader Peter Brandt, unfazed by Bitcoin slide, projects $200,000 in the next cycle. So this is what he's looking like. Yeah, I'm not fazed by this price going down. The next bull run's going to push it to $200,000 a token. So what does that mean when the market's going down? That's when you buy. Buy low, sell high. Let's see. He says projecting it will reach 200,000 by the third quarter 2029. This is interesting. So the 4-year Bitcoin cycle, it's off now. What should be happening right now, they're now looking at happening next year. So yeah, this is being pushed off a bit. The institutional guys changed things up, like BlackRock. Very interesting. I'm going to pay attention to that. Next headline. Bitcoin heading to 73K. Oh, isn't that close to my prediction? Max pain point frames potential bottom within wider range. Bitcoin's push into the 73 to 84,000 reset range tied to strategy and BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust is concentrating pressure that could flush out sellers. This is the people that don't know nothing about crypto and they scared. They're like, I bought crypto Bitcoin when it was 110,000 and now it's 84,000. I'm losing money. I'm getting out of here. And they're selling. So they're doing the opposite. What did I say about that time when Holton Bugs did that big famous call or Facebook Live when he was like, buy high, sell low. People bought Bitcoin at 100. They never wanted to buy it when it was at the 40, 50,000 range. They see it going up to 128,000. They don't want to get left out. They start buying it then. And then Bitcoin corrects and drops back down. And now they're like, I'm losing money. You only lose money when you sell, like a house. If you bought a house at $500,000, the housing market drops to 300,000 and you sell it at 300,000, you lost $200,000. Well, what if you don't sell? You still have the house. We'll just wait for the market to turn around. All right. All right. What's last one up? Then I got to run. 65 plus. This reminds me, Marnita, do me a favor because it's on my mind right now and I know I'm going to forget. Um, we got on our calendar. Let me see here. Tuesday, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Put that one down for me because of what's on my mind. All right, we got 65 plus crypto organizations urge Trump to trigger fast track rules guiding America's crypto path. Now, this is what Leonard was talking about last night. He's like, some of you guys may not like Trump, but the things that he's doing right now in the crypto space is going to make us rich. And here's a here's an interesting fact. I personally make more money when Republicans are in office and when Trump's in office. However, that's just because of the different tax brackets that you're in. But that doesn't benefit everybody unless you take advantage. See, the moves he's making in the crypto space, like it or not, is not insider trading. Well, yeah, well, there is some that insider information, but the blockchain is public. We can see every move we make and copy it. All right. Remember the whole Trump, their family tokens that they got? We see all the moves they're making. Anybody can copy it. America's crypto momentum is erupting as urgent federal action to unlock digital asset innovation barrels, not slow walks, not creeps, not steps, not runs, but barrels towards center stage, promising transformative clarity across taxation, regulation, and decentralized development. Speaking of taxation, thanks to Samantha, we have a tax expert that will be speaking to the ILCA community December. I forgot that date. Ah, this is Mr. Clemens. Mr. Clemens, give me 1 second. I'm about to end our Saturday morning presentation. Just yeah, hey, Derek, give me 1 second. Just- yeah, just hold on 1 second. All right. Oops. So this is just following what they do. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we have a tax expert that will be speaking to the ILCA community in sometime in December. So get ready for that. I think that's the 13th. I don't remember the exact date. But anyways, this is going to be a big deal. We got to watch how the news plays out. So with that, that is the end of our ILCA presentation. Excuse me. For Saturday, get back to the person who invited you so that you can join our community. We will be doing our Monday night recap call this Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to be having a special guest speaker sharing his story, Mr. Kenny Long. I'm sorry, Kenny Taylor. Kenny Long. Kenny Taylor on Monday night. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Brandon Ivey out. Bye-bye.